In part A of the activator, we are multiplying 2400ths by 300ths. I'm going to start by multiplying everything in the 2400ths by the 3. So 4 times 3 gives us 12. We place a 2 here and carry the 1. Then we multiply 2 times 3 and we get 6. Then we add 1 and get 7. On the next line, you needed a 0 to hold the place value. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be multiplying the numbers in 2400ths by 0. So first I'll multiply 4 times 0 and I get 0. Then I'll multiply 2 times 0 and I'll get 0. And then we need to add these together. 2 and 0 makes 2, 7 and 0 makes 7, 0 and nothing gives us 0. Last, we need to count the number of places to the right of the decimal. So the number of places to the right of the decimal in 2400ths is 2 places, and the number of numbers to the right of the decimal in 300ths is 1, 2 places. And so together that makes 4 decimal places. So we always start the decimal here on the far right side and we move it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to the left. Since we have an extra loop, we need to add a 0. So our final answer becomes, and let me write this a little bit thicker so you can see the decimal, 0072. So that'd be tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 72 10,000ths. This is our final answer for this multiplication problem. Now let's look at part B. So we need to remember that this is the dividend. That was supposed to be a D, dividend. And the dividend goes underneath the division symbol because it is what is being divided. The action is happening to this 0.0364 or 364 10,000ths. And then this is the divisor, and the divisor goes on the outside. So that 0.007 goes on the outside. I'm not writing that 0. If you want to, you may. It's not wrong to write it. I'm just leaving it off. And then from here, we need to check the divisor, which is what we're dividing by, and see if we see a decimal. If a decimal is visible, it means that the divisor is not a whole number, and we need the divisor to be a whole number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the decimal all the way to the wall till it hits the wall. So I move it once, twice, 3 times until it hits the wall. And now this is 7, which is a whole number, which is what we wanted. We wanted that to be a whole number. And then if we move the decimal 3 times in the divisor, we need to move the decimal 3 times in the dividend. So the decimal ends up between the 6 and the 4, so this becomes 36.4. And why don't we go ahead and move our decimal up to the top so we don't forget about our decimal. Now we start asking the question, how many times does 7 go into 3? Well, 7 goes into 3 0 times. How many times does 7 go into 36? Well, think about it. 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, and 7 times 6 is 42, which is too much. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We put a 5 at the top. 7 times 5 is 35, so we place 35 below 36 and we subtract it from 36 and we get 1. And then you cannot ask the question till you bring a number down. All right, now how many times does 7 go into 14? 2 times. 7 times 2 is 14. We subtract and get a remainder of 0. We know that we are finished with this problem because there is no number to bring down, and we have a remainder of 0. So our final answer is 5.2. That is our quotient.